The Duke of Sussex has reportedly stated he killed 25 Taliban opponents on his 2D excursion of obligation with inside the country. Prince Harry has stated he did now no longer do not forget the ones he killed as humans, however, as chess portions he had eliminated from the board. According to the Telegraph, he stated the wide variety did now no longer fill him with pleasure, however, nor does it embrace him. The Ministry of Defense discovered Monday that the 28-year vintage prince is coming back from a 5-month deployment in Afghanistan, in which he served as an Apache helicopter pilot with the Army Air Corps. It did now no longer right now disclose his precise whereabouts. In interviews carried out in Afghanistan, the 0.33 in line to the British throne defined feeling boredom, frustration and pleasure at some point of an excursion that noticed him hearthplace at Taliban opponents on missions in aid of floor troops. When requested whether or not he had killed from the cockpit, he stated, "Yay, so plenty of humans have." He additionally pointed out his conflict to stability, his process as a Navy officer together, along with his royal role, and his alleviation on the hazard to be one of the men. "My father's continually seeking to take me back to the fact approximately who I am, and stuff like that," stated Harry, the more youthful son of Prince Charles and the overdue Princess Diana. "But it's very smooth to neglect about approximately who I am after I am with inside the Navy. Everyone's sporting the equal uniform and doing the equal sort of component." Stationed at Camp Bastion, a sprawling British base with inside the southern Afghan desert, the prince, referred to as Captain Wales with inside the Navy, flew ratings of missions as a co-pilot gunner, now and again firing rockets and missiles at Taliban opponents. "Take a lifestyles to keep a lifestyles. That's what we revolve around, I suppose," he stated. "If there's humans seeking to do horrific stuff to our men, then we'll take them out of the recreation." Harry's 2D excursion in Afghanistan went greater easily than the first, in 2007 to 2008, which turned into reduce quick after 10 weeks, while a mag and websites disclosed information of his whereabouts. British media had agreed to an information blackout on protection grounds. This time, the media had been allowed constrained get right of entry to the prince in go back for now no longer reporting operational information. A member of the Air Corps' 662 Squadron, the prince turned into a part of a guy team whose obligations ranged from assisting floor troops in firefights with the Taliban to accompanying British Chinook and US Black Hawk helicopters as they evacuated wounded soldiers. He stated that whilst now and again it turned into essential to hearthplace on insurgents, the ambitious helicopter geared up with wing-established rockets, Hellfire laser-guided missiles and a 30mm device gun turned into normally and powerful deterrent. Harry shared a room with every other pilot in a fundamental lodging block crafted from delivery containers and surpassed the time among call-outs gambling video games and looking films together along with his fellow officers. His protection element observed him on base, however now no longer, while flying. It's as regular as it's going to get, Harry stated of the arrangement. "I'm one of the men. I don't get handled any differently." But he stated he nevertheless obtained undesirable interest at Camp Bastion, "That's domestic to lots of troops. For me, it's now no longer that regular due to the fact I cross into the ship's galley and all people has a great vintage gawp, and that's one component that I dislike approximately being right here," he stated. "Because there's masses of fellows in there which have in no way met me, consequently have a take to observe me as Prince Harry and now no longer as Captain Wales. That's frustrating." Ever due to the fact Harry graduated from the Sandhurst Navy Academy in 2006, his choice for a Navy profession has collided together along with his royal role. After his curtailed first Afghan deployment, he retrained as a helicopter pilot, which will have the hazard of being dispatched again. The velocity and peak at which Apaches fly caused them to difficult for insurgents to shoot down, however Harry's squadron commander, Major Ali Mack, stated the prince had nevertheless confronted actual hazard. "There is not anything habitual approximately deploying to an operational theater in which there may be honestly an insurgency and flying an assault helicopter in aid of each ISAF and Afghan protection forces," Mack stated. The hazard turned into underscored quickly after Harry arrived at Camp Bastion in September, while insurgents attacked the adjoining US base, Camp Leatherneck, killing US Marines and wounding numerous different troops. Harry stated he could have desired to were deployed at the floor together, along with his vintage regiment, the Household Cavalry, in place of spending his excursion of obligation at Camp Bastion, a fortified mini-metropolis, replete with shops, gyms and a Pizza Hut restaurant. Harry stated it turned into a ache with inside the arse, being caught in Bastion. I'd a good deal as a substitute be out with the men in a PB, patrol base, he stated. Despite the frustrations of base lifestyles, Harry stated he relished the flying. As quickly as we're outdoor the fence, we're with inside the thick of it. Yes, okay, we're supposedly safe, however whatever can cross incorrect with this component, however on the cease of the day we're accessible to offer cowl and safety for the men at the floor, he stated. Many of Harry's own circle of relatives have additionally visible combat maximum, currently his uncle, Prince Andrew, who flew Royal Navy helicopters at some point of the 1982 Falklands War. His grandfather, Prince Philip, served on Royal Navy battleships at some point of World War II. Older brother William, who's 2D in line to the throne, is a Royal Air Force search and rescue pilot. He, too, has expressed a choice to serve at the front line, however officers do not forget it too dangerous. Harry stated he notion William need to be allowed to serve in combat. Yes, you get shot at. But if the men who are doing the equal process as us are being shot at the floor, I don't assume there's whatever incorrect with us being shot at as well. People again domestic could have problems with that, however we're now no longer special. The men accessible are. Simple as that. He stated that whilst William turned into resentful of his Afghan experience, his elder brother's process had its advantages. He receives to move domestic to his spouse and his dog, while outright here we don't, Harry stated. We're caught gambling PlayStation in a tent complete of men. After the respite from scrutiny, the prince is returning to a Harry-hungry media keen for photographs of the eligible bachelor and tales of his off-obligation escapades. Just earlier than he went to Afghanistan, Harry hit the headlines at some point of a recreation of strip billiards at a Las Vegas hotel. He apologized for the incident. It turned into in all likelihood a traditional instance of me in all likelihood being an excessive amount of Navy and now no longer sufficient, prince, he stated. But the prince turned into frank approximately his frustration with the extreme insurance he faces. He stated his deep mistrust of the clicking started out while he turned into little, however he nevertheless reads what's written approximately him, notwithstanding others' recommendation that he shouldn't due to the fact it's continually rubbish. I in all likelihood allow myself down. I allow my own circle of relatives down, I allow different humans down, Harry stated. But on the cease of the day I turned into in a personal location, and there need to be a positive quantity of privateness that one need to expect. Later with inside the years he hopes to sign up for a set of injured servicemen on a charity race to the South Pole, and in July he's because of end up an uncle, while William's spouse Catherine offers start to her first child. Harry stated that he can't wait to be an uncle, however was hoping that Kate could accept privateness at some point of her pregnancy. And he conceded that he felt greater snug as Captain Wales than as Prince Harry. He stated he attempted to stability 3 aspects of his lifestyles, one with inside the Navy, one socially in my personal time, after which one with the own circle of relatives and stuff like that. So there may be a transfer and I flick it while essential, he stated. Army comes first. It's my paintings on the cease of the day. Thank you for watching till the end. Please share with us your thoughts in the comments